Have you ever stopped to think about how that video call actually gets from your laptop to a friend who's, clear across the country? Or how you can just press play and stream a movie that was made halfway around the world? Well, it all comes down to this incredible layered system of networks. And today, we're going to break down the three big ones that make our entire digital world possible: LAN, MAN, and WAN.
Just think of this little quote as our roadmap for today. We're going to start really small with the network that's probably in the very room you're in right now. And then we're going to zoom out layer by layer until we're talking about the entire globe. So let's start with why these different networks are so absolutely critical to everything we do.
I mean, let's be honest, our need for constant, super fast connection has just exploded, right? We count on these invisible networks for everything: making calls, video chats, streaming shows, online gaming, you name it. It all feels so seamless, like magic. But underneath it all, there's this beautifully organized system at play. So how does it all really work?
To really get a handle on this massive, global network, we've got to start small. The journey begins on a scale that's super close and personal to you. We're going to build our understanding from the ground up, starting right inside your own home or office.
Okay, first up is the LAN. That stands for Local Area Network. This is basically your personal digital bubble. It's the network that you control, connecting all the devices you use every single day. Think of it as your digital home base.
So, what is a LAN, really? Well, it's a network that's stuck in one small, specific area. The key word here is local. We're not talking about connecting cities or countries just yet. We're talking about connecting all the gadgets within a single building, maybe a school campus, or right there in your living room.
Let's just break down what makes a LAN a LAN. First, the scope is small, but, and this is crucial, the ownership is private. Your home Wi-Fi, that's your LAN. You own the router, you set the password. And that privacy is exactly why LANs are so fast and secure. The data doesn't have to travel very far, so it's super quick, and since you control who's on it, it's a trusted space. This little private network is the bedrock of all connectivity.
But of course, your home network doesn't just exist in a vacuum, right? To do anything interesting, like, watch this, it has to connect to the outside world. So let's pull the camera back from this private LAN and see what happens when we try to connect an entire city.
And that brings us to the MAN, or the Metropolitan Area Network. So if a LAN is your house, you can think of the MAN as the whole neighborhood, or even the whole city. It's that really important next step up in scale, the thing that links all those countless individual LANs together across a much bigger area.
A MAN pretty much does exactly what the name suggests. It covers an entire metropolitan area. This could be the network that connects all the government buildings in your city, or maybe it links up a university's different campuses scattered around town. It's the essential bridge between our private little LANs and the much, much wider world.
The MAN's whole job is to be the connective tissue for a city. And unlike your private LAN, a MAN is usually managed by a much bigger entity, like your internet service provider, or even the city itself. Why? Because the cost and the sheer complexity of wiring up an entire city is, huge. And to handle all that traffic, it needs a high-speed backbone, often using amazing tech like fiber optics to link everything together.
Okay, so we've connected the devices in a building with a LAN, and we've connected those buildings across a city with a MAN. But how do we connect New York to Tokyo or London to Sydney? For that, we need to take our final and our biggest step back.
And here we are, the WAN, or Wide Area Network. This is the big one. This is the global network that connects everything else. It's what crosses states and countries and even oceans to link up all the world's cities and ultimately every single one of us.
The scale of a WAN is just immense. We are way past talking about a building or a city now. A WAN is this massive telecommunications network that spans enormous distances, using everything from undersea cables snaking across the ocean floor to satellite links in space. It's all built for one main reason: long-distance data travel, making instant global communication a real thing.
So the scope here is literally global. A WAN's entire purpose is to connect all those smaller networks, the LANs and the MANs, into one giant cohesive whole. And the ultimate perfect example of a WAN, well, you're using it right now. It's the internet. It's this massive, sprawling network of networks that isn't owned by any one person, but is run by countless providers all working together to shuffle data around the planet.
So we've gone from your room to your city, all the way to the entire planet. Now let's just put all three of these pieces together and see how they stack up side by side.
And here's how it all breaks down, nice and simple. You can see this clear, logical progression and scale, right? From a single building for a LAN to a whole city for a MAN, and then the entire globe for a WAN. The ownership changes too, from completely private to a mix of public or private, and finally to a huge distributed system. And the examples really tell the whole story. Your home Wi-Fi is your LAN, which connects to a city-wide MAN, which in turn plugs into the ultimate WAN, the internet.
So there you have it, 3 completely different layers of technology, LAN, MAN, and WAN, all working together in harmony to connect your device to the entire world. It's a truly remarkable system that has totally changed how we live. Which, of course, leaves us with one last big question. As our demand for data and for instant connection just keeps growing and growing, what does the next evolution of this global network even look like? How will we all stay connected tomorrow?